This comes from Trust the Process 35. One of the things that I dislike in sports culture are the takes. To me, it feels a desire to prove that one knows more about a sport or is more right about it. I guess this is directed at me, obviously, because I posted it. You have takes on Jimmy Butler and LeBron that you're pretty vocal about. Why do you think people tune into takes, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith? Why can't those making takes enjoy the sport for what it is and acknowledge that there is a vast unpredictability that we should rather just enjoy when it happens instead of immediately and egotistically defending their takes through some form of verbal gymnastics? And then somebody else in the comments of this talks about it being clickbait. I guess first of all, clickbait to me is when it's like, here's an amazing thing that will cure your tummy ache, and you turn to it, and it's like I think clickbait, there's a difference between clickbait and like feeding on people's desire for, I don't think having a take on something is clickbait to me. I think there's a difference. I think clickbait is what's the word I'm looking for? Is misleading someone. So I don't think it is. I think everybody takes this a little too seriously about opinions. The truth is that no one remembers your opinion when it's right. They only remember it when it's wrong. And like, I've always been this way. I've been this way since we started the pod. Like from turning on Evan Turner to Michael Carter Williams or whoever it is, like I just think it's more fun when you have an opinion, I guess. And that's why people tune into it, is that like, I think that what people don't understand is that like people that listen to this podcast or read Zach Lowe or whatever, they're not regular people. I think most people pay attention to sports casually, and sort of like easy to understand opinions appeal to those people. And like when it comes down to it, that's how we all feel when we watch. I don't have a problem with it, and I think people take it a little too seriously, that like sports are like politics or cancer treatments. So I think like when I remember like loving sports, this is the end of it. When I remember loving sports, it is middle school and high school arguing with people about who was better next to lockers. Like that's what sports always was to me. So like, I think people enjoy that when they get older. Without that, I think it's a little less interesting. So that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the time, like these, some people are dumb, but I think a lot of the time, like, if you work for ESPN or The Athletic or Yahoo or whatever it is, and you have to have takes about like everything, especially if you're like
right.
I'm not there's some people that are, just Skip Bayless as an example is just because he's a shithead. But like he covers theoretically every sport. And so like
right.
He doesn't know enough to
it's impossible
watch
almost.
everything and to see everything. And so he's obviously made an art of it. And I would say like, your dad has as well, and Angelo, like those guys that is like, they're not watching everything. And so it's easier to just come up with like, X player doesn't have a killer instinct because like you can't watch everything. And so it's just like, let's just say a thing. Let's get people fired up, and people will listen because that gets people's blood boiling and stuff. Sometimes having like a strong take about something is obviously good or interesting or whatever. And sometimes you're at work and you need to fucking come up with something, and so they do.
The one place I would push back on that is that saying what Skip or Stephen A. or whatever does is easy is sort of like saying writing a hit song is easy. And like what I would tell you is that it's not what they are doing. There's a reason that some people are popular and good at it and some people are not. I don't think it means it's like more intellectually honest or dishonest, like when we're talking about, Cowherd. But like if you can watch Colin Cowherd, he's so good at what he does. There is a skill to what they're doing, just like writing, just like what Nickelback did was not easy. What the Backstreet Boys or anybody, they didn't write very many of their own songs, but anybody who's writing those songs, which seem simple as pop songs, if they were easy, everyone would do it and everyone would be rich. Trust me, like the thing that is holding back sports opinion people from being popular isn't like their commitment to being intellectually honest about it. It's just like it's not particularly easy, is what I would say. That's the only part of what you said that I would push back on. But even when we had Kate Fagan on, I remember when we had Kate on, when she had been with ESPN for a few years, she warned me that she was like, I want to warn you, like, I don't really know as much about the Sixers or anything as I did because I have to know about anything. So it's a different thing that they're doing.